In today's video, we're going to dive into the world of parallax animation and create this beautiful parallax slider. Let's jump right in. So as always, let's start with a blank presentation and let's start bringing in our imagery assets. For our first slide, let's bring in a video of a nice sunny beach. Once your video is imported, let's resize it to fill the slide. Let's just drag the corners. As you can see, the top and bottom have been aligned. Let's go to align and make sure it's centered, and then click on crop and just crop off the edges. Then let's go to playback options, and instead of in-click sequence, let's set it to play automatically. So as soon as we go into full screen mode, the video plays on its own. Let's add a few more slides with some images. As you bring in each image, depending on the type of image you're using, go over to crop, aspect ratio, and crop it down to 16:9, so it fills the dimensions of the slide exactly. And I'll just add 3 more slides quickly. Now that we have all our images set in the slides, let's go over to slide number 1, and first we'll design the overall layout of the slide so we get a good understanding of the static and dynamic elements that will be running through this presentation. Let's begin by adding some static elements. I'll go over to our shapes and draw a line. I'll change the shape outline to white and let's increase the weight to about 3 points. Then let's go over to Insert, Icons, and let's just grab any icon to stand in for a logo. So let's grab this anchor icon, drag it over to the corner, and let's change it to white. Then let's select both these items, group them by pressing Ctrl G, copy paste them, go over to Arrange, Rotate, and Flip Horizontal, and then we can drag them over to the right side as well. Then we'll add a little bit of text. So let's open a text box and write something. Choose whatever font works for you. Let's change it to white. Let's go over to Format Shape, Text Options, and let's add a little bit of shadow to this. Let's rotate it by 90 degrees and take it over to the left side. There we go. Next we'll add another static element of this person looking out over the beach. Let's size it appropriately and place it approximately where we'll want it to be throughout the presentation. And depending on the type of presentation you want to make, we can add other static objects. So I'll just add one over here. And once you're happy with all the elements of your layout, let's select all of them except for the background and make sure they're grouped. Once again, we'll press Ctrl G and group everything. So this overlay will remain static throughout all our slides. Now let's add a dynamic element which will be our text that will change from slide to slide. So let's create another text box and add a heading. For this, I'll change the line spacing from single to multiple and change it from 3 to 0.7 so there's less of a gap between the words. Then we can size it appropriately, place it wherever we need to, and let's change it to white. And just so we're sure that the text stands out against the different backgrounds that we have, let's go over to text options and let's add a bit of a shadow to this text. So let's add a drop shadow and increase the blur a bit. You can also increase the transparency so it's just a bit of a slight shadow. And then on the other side, let's add a bit of text as well. Let's add some lorem ipsum text. And as a quick tip, if you just want to generate the text automatically, just type in equals to LOREM open brackets 1 close brackets, and that will automatically generate one paragraph of lorem ipsum text. I'll quickly adjust the font and the size. If we're not happy with the readability of the text against the background, we can experiment a little bit and see what else works. So we could either change the text to white or move it around. For now, we'll leave it as is. So now we have a better understanding of our static and dynamic elements. The overlay will be static, our imagery and our text will be dynamic. So now it's time to set up the parallax. We'll set up our parallax in two stages. First, we'll set up all the background images that are going to be moving from left to right, and then we'll set up the text that will be moving in the opposite direction from right to left. So let's begin with the images. Let's go over to slide number 2. Let's copy this background and bring it over to slide number 1. And since this has to flow in from the left, let's squeeze this image down and drag it outside the slide to the left side. Then let's copy this video. Let's take it over to slide number 2, and this time let's squeeze it to the right. Once again sliding it out of the slide. We should remember that any image that's exiting should be sent to back. Then let's go over to slide number 3, copy the background, bring it over to slide number 2, and then let's squeeze it out to the left. Let's add a similar treatment to all our remaining slides. So let's copy slide number 2's background, take it to 3, squeeze it out to the right. Let's copy the background on slide number 4, take it to 3, squeeze it out to the left. And of course, ensure the one on the right is sent to back. Then let's take the 3 over to 4. Let's squeeze it out to the right, then to back. And let's bring the desert from slide 5 onto 4, squeeze it to the left. And finally, let's take the background on 4, take it to 5, again squeeze it to the right, and send to left. Send to back. Now we've organized all our images on every slide. So let's select all our slides, go over to transitions, give it the morph transition, and let's put the duration to about 0.75. Then let's check it out in full screen mode. On slide number 1, we have our video playing, and then let's click over and it swipes out to the next slide. And that's looking pretty cool. Now to organize our text. We'll use the same principle to organize our text that we did for the videos, except the text will be going in the opposite direction as the images. So the first thing we need to do is select our text. Let's group it. Let's copy it and let's paste it onto the next slide, and let's edit it as per each slide. So now that we know exactly where our text is going to come, let's set it up into the Parallax. Let's grab our text group from slide number 2 and take it over to slide number 1 and paste it. We'll show it's properly aligned and then slide it out to the right. And similarly, let's grab text group number 1, copy it, take it over to 2, ensure it's aligned, and slide it out to the left. Then, once again, let's copy slide 2, take it down to slide 3, align, and left. And we grab the slide 3 group, copy it, take it over to 2, align, and to the right. Then for slide 3, let's grab the text from slide 4, paste it, align it, take it to the right. And similarly for slide 4, we'll grab number 3, paste it, align it, and take it to the left. And then let's grab 5, bring it to slide 4, take it to the right. And finally for slide 5, we'll grab slide 4 text, paste it in, and take it out to the left. Let's see if that worked. So let's go to slide number 1. Let's check it in full screen. And as you can see, the image is swiping in from the left and the text is swiping in from the right. And that looks pretty neat. And our final step for this is copying our UI that we created and pasting it all across the slides. This is our last step, so the UI is always in the front of everything else. So copy, paste, 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 and paste. So the UI will remain static throughout our Parallax now. Let's take one quick look. And there you have it, folks. We've turned an ordinary presentation into a Parallax paradise. If you'd like to try out this template for yourself, you can grab it for only a few bucks from my website. And as a bonus, you'll also get this template in a Canva format. And if you'd like to see a lot more Parallax magic, check out our amazing Parallax template with over 100 unique animations. You'll find the link for all of this in the description. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave us a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.